Hey guys, I'm Loki and welcome back to the Lair. Today I've got a video that I know a lot of you guys are interested in. A video about creating adventures and hooks for your players. Whether you're a new dungeon master or a seasoned grognard, expanding your mind to new methods and ideas is not a bad thing at all. I recently made a video talking about running a West Marches campaign, and I would recommend you guys check that out if you're interested in learning more about what it means to run a more sandbox styled game. But I made this video with the intention of being a bit more of a follow-up video. I didn't really talk about adventure design much in the video, and whilst I'm not necessarily going to make any grand adventures for you guys today, I am going to discuss the many thoughts and methods that I consider and take when running adventures in my campaigns, including a couple of charts and tables and some theory design as well, which I'm sure you guys will appreciate. Make sure you guys have liked the video if you haven't already, and hit that subscribe button if you like these videos and would like to see more stuff like this on the channel. Thanks guys. When I start a campaign, I design the local region and create a starting location. Typically these are villages and small towns. I've always found it weird when dungeon masters start playing or start a game even in a big sprawling city. It's very overwhelming and it's a lot to consider and soak in as a player. It's also a lot of more work for the dungeon master, and it doesn't really allow us to appreciate the scale of civilization when we're thrust into the biggest place in the area. I'd rather get used to a village or a small town and then eventually end up going to the big city later down the line. It just sounds more exciting and perhaps a bit of a culture shock, right, for the players. I prefer a local start in a small settlement on the fringes of civilization. A border fort, perhaps, like the Keep on the Borderlands, is a great place to start adventuring, and I actually did that with my Saturday group for this campaign, even using the Caves of Chaos as a starting adventure hook. When I'm considering adventures, I first consider the creatures that I actually want to use in the area. So working on a random encounter chart is a really good first step. Perhaps 6 options, maybe 8. It's good to get the ball rolling. I prepared one such chart for you guys today with encounters for 4 level 1 to 3 characters in a plains biome. So we're talking like grasslands biome, right? And here's the chart on the screen. As you guys can see, I've included a formula for how many of each creature will be present in the encounter. I always do this. It adds an element of randomness and variety. I know that a lot of newer Dungeon Masters don't really do this, but I think especially a lot of the old school ones do. It was kind of a big idea of actual game design to include these formulas. And sure, it does require a bit of improvising, but it isn't that complicated. If there are less, for example, tribal warriors, it's likely a small scouting party. If it's a lot, maybe the maximum number, maybe it is a hunting party or a war party, right? I've also included a local guard patrol on this list just to represent some law and order. If people roll it, it's not an encounter as such, it's not combat at least, it's more of a roleplay scenario. But if the players roll a 6, that's where things can get very, very interesting. Double Trouble represents an encounter where 2 of these creature encounters actually face each other, which obviously would require that you think on your feet to come up with something on the spot, but you could always tailor and prepare a few ideas in advance, just in case, I don't know, the tribe's people end up fighting the guard patrol or end up having an encounter with the guard patrol, right? Alternatively, it could be maybe the gnolls and the griffin. Maybe the gnolls are trying to capture the griffin and make it their pet. Who knows, man? Like, you can... there's 101 things that you can do with this kind of thing. Anyway, all that I've really said so far is just a foundation that we can build upon, right? The building blocks to this system, this adventure, this campaign that we're actually going to be running. Creating adventures for low-level play is simple when you know the monsters and the kind of biomes that are in the local area. Based on our table, here are some side quests and minor plots that I've come up with just off the top of my head, which you can use to open a game with. So as you guys can see, these three options define this region and tell the players what the town wants. Knowing this gives them ideas of, sandbox adventures that they could go on for themselves. Like they could just go out and hunt down some gnolls if they wanted to. But now we can actually make something bigger than just these little side plots that the party can always go on. The first adventure could be regarding the wolves. Maybe the town sheriff is confused why the wolves are leaving the safety of the forest and attacking people on the roads. It's unlike wolves to stray too far from their hunting grounds and attack people indiscriminately unless something bizarre is afoot. The party will be paid a fixed sum of however much money you want, let's say 200 gold for a low-level group, to investigate the forest and discover what is happening with the wolves. This is a great self-contained adventure where you can have the players roll some random encounters, deal with a few hazards like hunting traps, ravines, or a poisonous berry bush, but eventually the party will discover a mad druid who has ensorcelled the wolves to do his bidding, and take revenge on the people of the local area for their mistreatment of this very same druid in the past. The party can fight and defeat the druid and his wolven allies, or convince the druid to either quit his foul behaviour or leave and never return. Either way, the party gets paid because the attacks are obviously going to come to an end, and it gives the players some agency in how they deal with the challenge. And I think agency is it's nice for an adventure like this, not feeling forced to do a certain thing. Though obviously you may choose to do the contrary. It'll be up to you, really. But let's do the gnolls, right? The gnoll adventure could be as simple as just destroying an outpost. I mean, that's simple enough, right? The players travel to where the gnoll attacks frequently occur, find gnolls, follow them back to their outpost, and cut them down and drive away the survivors. The players would obviously need to strategize a bit and consider different methods to succeed. They'll have to use survival to do tracking and things like that. But that's really, really interesting. I think it's important in those kind of scenarios, especially if the gnolls really outnumber the players. You tell the players, if you brute force this, you're gonna die. You can't just run into this outpost and start killing them. They will react and cut you down. You need to be smart. I don't know, burning down the walls and driving the gnolls out and having them be all, frantic. Or, I don't know, screaming out in the open, seeing if you can draw some of the warriors out, right? Just to try and split their focus. That's always a good idea. But other adventures can be based off the local features and the biome. If there are hills nearby, perhaps a local mining prospector has been hired by the Lord to, find a new mineral deposit somewhere to extract minerals from, obviously. Maybe they can hire a party to escort them into the hills and explore the many caves and ravines that the region could have. It might sound a little bit less heroic than what your players may be used to, but it's up to you to determine what happens on that adventure. Does the party find a cavern full of goblins who block off the only exit and force the players to fight them as they drive their way through the caverns to find another exit? Do they get surrounded and captured by gnolls in a ravine who take them to the Gnoll King? It's really up to you to define a good adventure, and that obviously comes with experience. Adventures like this are also great for important pre-written module content from DriveThruRPG and other sources. That's basically what I've done in my campaign with, Keep on the Borderlands, the Barrow Maze, and the Veiled Society, to name a few. What I've done is I've incorporated these different modules and adventures into my world, homebrewed them to make them fit, because obviously not all the lore and story stuff fits. And what that's done is quickly improve the quality of my game, making for a more complete and exciting world to adventure in. You might be surprised at the amount of content that's actually out there that could just be small 4 to 6 week adventures, but there is, and there's a lot of D&D channels out there like myself that have, you know, Patreons set up that could offer things like pre-written adventures. I haven't really done that yet, but I'm planning to start doing that soon. But you can also find free content on DriveThruRPG as well from my own experience. I found a really good gem recently. I forgot what it was called. Maybe I'll put it up on the screen if I can remember it, but at the time of this recording I can't remember what the name of the module was, but I'm fairly certain it was free. I'd love to do some videos where I actually design adventures and discuss my style choices, and if that is something that you'd like to see, you know, let me know in the comment section below. I'd also love to know what you guys consider when preparing adventures yourselves for a new campaign, as I'm sure there are many people who are watching this video today who would appreciate the advice. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time on Loki's Lair. Until then everyone, goodbye.